Hi guys, I'm back again. In this video, we're going to discuss the subject of ketosis and intermittent fasting and if you should eat when you're not hungry, because the problem is your hunger is going to go away. So if you actually are eating 2 meals a day or even 1 meal a day and you're not hungry, do you eat or do you not eat? Okay. Now, let's just answer that in a second. Before I answer that, I'm going to talk to the person who doesn't even know about ketosis, doesn't know about intermittent fasting. And let's just, do you eat when you're not hungry? Like for breakfast when you wake up? Do you automatically go for breakfast when you're not even hungry? Do you eat a snack when you're not hungry? At night, when you're not hungry, do you still eat just because the food is there? That's the question. Well, let's talk about that first before I go into intermittent fasting and ketosis. So our bodies are just not designed to eat at the frequency that we're eating. We eat way, way too much food. It's not even about the calories, it's about the frequency of eating, simply because every time you eat, you spike insulin. Okay, so we have this massive, massive situation where you're spiking insulin all day long. Social events, you have other events, holidays, Halloween, kids, kids are constantly eating around you. At night, there's food around on your table and the refrigerator of your house is stacked with all this food. It's like everywhere you go. Vacations, weekends, holidays, friends, social things. So you're just constantly exposed to food, okay? Now, one of the best habits that you could implement for yourself would be only eat when you are hungry and never eat when you are not hungry. If you implemented that habit, you'd be extremely healthy, because it's false information that breakfast is the most important meal. It's not true. I mean, all night long you're not eating, you're fasting. Why would you need a breakfast if you're not hungry? Your body is burning fat. The food that it's eating is actually on your own body. Or you need 3 squares, right? 3 square meals a day. Why? Whoever came up with that. Or you need to keep up your blood sugar constantly and eating, keep bringing it up. It's not true. Or you need to eat to stimulate your metabolism. Or by the time your hunger is too late. These are all false pieces of information that people are spreading out there, and we're accepting it. Probably generated by the food manufacturing companies. Okay? So that's one thing. Now, let's shift gears. Let's see you're already doing ketosis, and you're already doing intermittent fasting. And you're not hungry anymore. Do you eat? Well, the point about that is that we need to get our nutrients, okay, from the food. So here's what I recommend. I recommend that you do this in a nice, structured, gradual way, right? You start with 3 meals a day, okay? So if you start with that, no snacks, you're going to find that your hunger is going to go down, especially if you're eating what I'm recommending, good amount of vegetables, protein, and good amount of fat, no sugar, okay? Now what's going to happen, your hunger is going to go down. So you keep pushing the breakfast forward and forward and forward until you completely drop out the breakfast. And this can happen very fast, okay? It could happen in a week, okay? Now you're down to 2 meals a day, and you're doing it comfortably and consistently, okay? And then now you're not even hungry. In the morning, you're not hungry for this lunch. Ideally, you should not be eating that lunch if you're not hungry. Why? Because your body is burning fat, okay? So if you do eat, now you're going to be hungry. The problem that you're going to probably run into, especially if you are doing this too suddenly and you haven't adapted fully, is let's say you're not hungry for lunch, so you don't eat, right? And you go to work or something like that, or you're off somewhere where you're not around food, and then you start getting really hungry about, 3 o'clock, okay, but there's no food available. That's the problem. So if you have an availability where you can bring your food and just eat when you're hungry, that would be the ideal situation. So again, the principle is eat when you're hungry. Now, a lot of people that are doing this end up doing 1 meal because of the situation, because they're just not hungry for the other meal. And that's totally fine. But going past 1 meal a day, maybe eating every other day, I probably wouldn't recommend that unless you need to lose a lot of weight and you're just not hungry, because you have certain dietary requirements with nutrients that you need. And so I think you should probably stick with at least 1 meal a day and make sure it's very, very healthy, and probably enhance that as well. But the point is that if you're not hungry, don't add another meal in there, all right? I just wanted to emphasize that point, and this can go for if you're on ketosis intermittent fasting, or if you're not on it and you don't know anything about it. All right, thanks for watching. So Karen and I are going to create some more recipes, but we wanted to know, what recipes are you interested in, okay? Click the link and let us know.